What is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube. Before we get going in today's video, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Now, the vast majority of you that are watching this today are still not subscribed. So if you want to show me some love, support the channel, support the content, and if you want to see more content, you're going to have to subscribe and you're going to have to show me some love. So today we are at Ultraflex Derby, one of many Ultraflex gyms, as I am sure there's 10 now across the UK. And it's an amazing facility. The owners are a family, obviously in business with Charles, and they have put their absolute soul into this place, and it definitely shows. So it's great to see the success they've had here, and it's great to see the facility that they have built here as well. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck in for my leg day today, as we have got some of our Cybex kit off for repair and refurbishment. So we have got a chance to come and visit here and use the same kit, which is the beauty of Ultraflex gyms. We get to use pretty much the same equipment across all sites with some slight different changes. And I do think each gym has a little bit of different vibe as well, which is great. So guys, we're in for a big leg day. We're just under 21 weeks out. Feeling great, body's feeling great, things are moving forward well. So game time, let's get it. This is where I think a lot of people don't have the right perception of what true training to failure actually is. Because to truly take your set to that failure point, you battle against nature. Your mind will be telling you to stop, and you are doing something against your nature, pushing beyond and past the pain, because the set doesn't end when you experience pain. The set only begins when the pain starts to set in. Right guys, welcome back. We've got leg day. Today we have got our Cybex leg session, and because my Cybex leg press is out of order, we are at Ultraflex Derby. And as you can see, another stunning gym. Luke, one of the owners, actually just showed me around. I haven't been since open day, which is bad of me, but it's an excellent gym. So very much looking forward to getting stuck into the session. Today, I will be starting with a single leg lying hamstring curl. And the main reason for that is, guys, I did notice I was getting a little bit of a niggle in my right hamstring because I wasn't able to get my setup right in the seated hamstring curl. So one way to remedy this is working unilaterally, because it allows me to actually get in a comfy position where if I'm unable to actually jam my adductors together and keep my joints aligned when I'm working bilaterally, so both legs, it definitely throws the alignment off. So I have noticed a little bit of pain, and it was just generally down to poor setup, which is unavoidable when legs are not of the smallest, right? So easiest way to remedy it is moving on to unilateral work. So I'm just going to test out a couple of leg curls and then see which I'm actually going to use for today's session. More than likely be Atlantis or Prime, we'll see. Right, exercise number one, let's get it. Beautiful. Oh, pain. Pure pain. Beautiful pain. You cannot beat the beauty of a painful set. This is where I think a lot of people don't have the right perception of what true training to failure actually is. Because to truly take your set to that failure point, you battle against nature. Your mind will be telling you to stop. And you really need to push that you really need to push past that point where you are doing something against your nature, pushing beyond and past the pain. Because the set doesn't end when you experience pain. The set only begins when the pain starts to set in. True failure is reps and reps and reps beyond the point of pain. So embrace it. Okay. About third and final set. At the moment, we've got 10 working sets for legs, 4 sets of hamstring work, 4 sets of quad work, and 2 sets of calves. Now, training every 4 days, this is about the max that we can actually recover from. So, if I wasn't able to see progression within my logbook, or at least even maintenance whilst I'm in deficit now, that would be an indicator that my recovery is not up to par. So either the volume needs to come down, or potentially I may need a deload. More than likely, it will always be down to the volume not being quite as accurate for my recovery capabilities. Now, the stronger you get, more advanced you get in this game, guys, less volume you actually need to a degree. So you need to be very, very mindful of that when it comes to your training in general. Not all volume is created equal. If your volume quality starts to diminish because you're doing too much work, you need to scale back. Less is more, better is more. So doing less sets that are of good quality is always going to trump a lot of sets that are of poor quality. Right there. Right, guys and girls, exercise number 2, leg extension. We are using a hustler pad, shout out hustler lifting, just to be able to get a little bit more range. So one thing you'll notice here, big up Derby, amazing Cybex leg extension. It's one of the newer ones, which in my opinion is actually top notch. Adding this pad here allows us to get just a little bit more range here for the squad. So in essence, the stretch that we get across the rec fem and going all the way into your hip is so much greater than the conventional stop, which would be here. So generally, for leg extension, guys, super simple. Get your knees in, knees pointing up, straight line from your hip, into your knee, into your foot, hips pulled down, core braced, driving your hips into this direction, and then instead of thinking about coming up, what I want you to actually think about is driving your shins forward and then up. So this is exactly how this should actually look in practice. Joints stay stacked, knees pointing up, powerful position, bracing created for abdominals, and pulling your hips down, and extra range of motion with the pad. Happy quad gains, let's get it.
Sink it, sink it. There you go. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Good. Strong. Come on. Loads of fucking power here. Hard. Get up. Strong. Yeah. Fucking go. Come on. Come on. Strong. Yeah.
Big boy sets. Time to work for it. Whatever they get, better reps.
Focus, come on. Okay, position force, put yourself in. Focus. Write it down. There's one. Focus. 2. Come on, that. Good work, come on. 3, timer. 4, much better, come on. 4, super confidence. Come on, this is fucking like loads of power. Oh, I feel that. Come on. Every rep has to count. Make it accurate, make it easy. Come on. 7. Come on. Focus. Don't push up. Get close. Loads of fucking power.
Yep. Exercise number 3 was the pivot leg press. Now, at the moment, I am really getting on with leg extension and leg press for all of my quad work. So, you know the old saying, don't try to fix what isn't broken. Speaks to mind straight away. Now, I want to do a hack squat. I want to do a pile jump squat. However, for me, when I get stronger, and at the moment I'm probably at peak of my strength, I indefinitely run into issues with my connective tissue. Now, my joints are relatively small, so the amount of load I have to use, even with great execution and control, the joints take a beating over time. So if I can use something that allows me to load safely with the least connective tissue pain possible, and I have sustainability in my programming, it's always going to be the way to go. So leg press, it's definitely good to go, guys. You can grow your legs with no squat patterns, and some of the greatest legs we've ever had have been built on leg extension and leg press. So do not demonize great exercises. Key is effort, as always. Right, now my focus. should look all right when I'm less fat and when I'm a little bit fuller. Right. Keep the knees pointing up, Mark, come on. Same drill, setting up your seated hamstring curl. If you do experience any joint pain or any pain around your tendon here at the kneecap or behind your kneecap, it's likely down to your alignment. So setting up in a seated hamstring curl, same again, brace. Your abdominal bracing and your core is the key. Now, without a solid brace here, your pelvis will be moving in all sorts of weird directions, especially in this exercise. So we don't want to extend, we want to maintain a neutral spine with your core braced, pointing down and in. No excessive flexion, just maintain neutrality of your spine. Pull yourself in using the handles or the bar here. Spine stays neutral, core braced, pelvis stable, knees pointing up. And I actually like to rotate feet inwards to get the knees pointing up. Again, joints stacked. From that position, cue dragging your heels down and in. Now, main point here is trying to control the end ranges. Do not overemphasize the shortened range, but make sure that you maintain a degree of control so that you are able to actually pause in the stretch and not use any momentum. Right down. Oh, single leg curl for me. Same drill, same principle as dual bilateral, but for me, simple feels better. So I'm going to do what feels good. Like that for me. Can't get my legs coming in enough. So because I can't get my legs to line up properly, no, it's not that. I've got quite narrow hips. Because I've got narrow hips. Yeah. So the only way I can maintain my joint alignment is by just doing unilateral and then shifting myself off, yeah. So this is where your training will change slightly depending on your structure. You see a lot of movements, I position you slightly differently to me. Yeah, but you've got quite decent hips and big arse. I'm the opposite. So for you, you line up perfectly with both legs and you get plenty from it. For me, I've got to go unilateral. So one thing I've noticed, like watching my videos back, it's like, I can never get set up right. And one thing you'll notice here, I'm managing to maintain my knee pointing up, and actually I can actually get more range as well. So, yeah, yeah, different strokes for different folks. Right now. I got my server FPS Max with magnesium. Ooh, very good session. Now time to give my quads a little bit of a stretch. And then I'll give my conclusion, guys. But first, Yep. Oh, right. All right, guys and girls. We are done. That is a wrap up the session. Training is really picking up a lot of momentum. My actual volume is probably the lowest it's been in many, many years. But the quality of each set is very, very high. And in my opinion, it's always the quality over quantity of your sets that will play a role in your ability to keep stepping forward with not just progress in the gym, but also the return on investment that you see from the sets that you actually do versus how much tissue you actually grow. Ultimately, guys, you can only do what you can recover from, right? But at the same time, you need to be mindful of the quality of the dosage of the volume that you are working with. The harder you train, more accurate you are with your training, less you'll actually need. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. So sometimes, guys, do not be afraid to pull back on the amount of work that you are doing if you are already training hard enough. Also, a consideration to make, guys, is your training frequency. I am training 3 days on, 1 off, as opposed to what I did before, which was 2 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. So I do have somewhat an additional day or 2 of training, which in essence, when you break down that training volume, so the number of sets across that week, training higher frequency allows you to have more volume spread across the week, but less volume within a single session. So in my opinion, spreading out your sessions and having more frequency with less volume of sets directly in each session equates to better quality sets, which in turn, higher stimulus, higher tension, and in my opinion, more growth. Also, more frequency within your training body parts, more opportunity you have to actually grow and improve. So take note of that, guys. Guys, thank you so much for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Peace out.